Today I'm going on China's most extreme flight.
You probably never heard of this airport. The world's number 4 highest commercial airport, 4,500 meter long runway.
Across China from Tibet to Xinjiang.
It's still dark outside. It's such an early start. All the flights leave early because the wind's calm and less turbulence. There's lots of retiring military servicemen queuing up early. I saw them leaving here. I guess they served their terms and now going back home happily. Good morning again. So I'm at a gate. This is the destination I'm flying to. It's called Ngari Kunsa Airport. You probably never heard of this airport. It's at the northwest tip of Tibet, bordering China and India. Let's fly and find out the rest.
请勿停留。
早上好。你好。你好。这里。好的。
模式点阵变化，对子头上进行正常呼吸。
The plane I flew is the A319neo. This is a rare type and currently only flies in China due to high altitude airports. With 27,000 pounds of thrust from each engine, we climbed out Lhasa easily. We took off in darkness and climbed all the way to 34,000 feet.
So I came down to economy because the views are better behind the wing. It's such an empty flight, but this is also China's most expensive flight. Usually in China they sell flight by discount, 折扣票. But this flight from Lhasa to Ali, there's no discount, full fare. It's the most expensive in China because if you go by car, it's going to be over 30 hours to drive, and through many areas there's no service. So it's better go by planes. Oh, it's beautiful. The sun's starting to come out. It's the color of the dawn. It's all worth the early morning waking up. When I travel, I just love watching the window view because travel makes you feel modest. You are just one small part of the universe. It makes you feel more humble and appreciate things. Well, here's what we have in economy. We have the congee with corn, and we have a bit of snack, yogurt, a muffin here, and a bit of condiments. Not bad. I don't know, you love congee. It's one of my favorite breakfasts. The weather today is not so good. It's pretty cloudy, as you can see, but the sun's peeking out, and from time to time through the gaps of clouds I saw some beautiful scenery, a bit of mountains, and also there's a high elevation lake. But I think saving the best to the last, I'm really hoping we can see Mount Kailash. That's a sacred mountain for Buddhists, for Hindus, and other religions. And it looks like a pyramid. No one ever conquered it because it's a sacred mountain. It's a holy mountain. They don't allow anyone to climb up there. So the captain just made a PA saying Ngari Kunsa is 6 degrees Celsius. It's pretty cold. I'm not surprised. It's at 14,000 feet. It is number 4 in the world in terms of elevation of commercial airports. It also has a 4,500 meter long runway due to the high elevation.
差不多冈仁波齐的话，就应该在那个地方。那个我以前经常飞这个航班。
这里有一些山，但是看不见冈仁波齐 Mount Kailash。
No luck on this flight to view the sacred mountain. It is inside the clouds, unfortunately. Maybe it's just my bad luck, but September is the best season for flying inside Tibet due to the good conditions. In the winter, you will have a lot of turbulence. The main challenge at Nari, besides its high altitude, is the wind, which comes from all directions and changes frequently.
There's no visibility. I can't see anything. It's completely cloud up, and there's no way they can do a visual landing. They has to use RMP AR approach, assisted by satellite and GPS.
Finally, the low clouds broke away and I can start to see the landscape of Ngari, which looks extremely remote and isolated.
So we just landed at Ngari Kunsa Airport. That was a beautiful landing and a really long road out because they have a really long runway. The landscape on final approach looks like on Mars. It reminded me a little bit like Queenstown, but we're at 14,000 feet, not on sea level. So a lot different.
So I met with the captain after landing. They have to wear an oxygen mask on landing in Nari as it's about 14,000 feet. He said to me that the flight is payload restricted. In the event of engine failure, the pilot has to make sure the plane can climb out such a high altitude with the right weight.
Walking slowly here and slow down my breath because I'm at 14,000 feet elevation. This is what Ngari's terminal looks like. Pretty simple. 6 degrees Celsius right now. I hope it gets warmer later. I'm gonna be here for 3 hours, then catching a flight flying up north to Xinjiang, another extreme flight across China from Tibet to Xinjiang.
The terminal in Ngari is quite simple, but with some Tibetan culture. There were 6 flights on September 6 when I visited.
它是飞去喀什，应该往下走吗？
是往下走，但是你现在是步行啊，它飞机上要往上更高的嘛，是不是？它飞机上又
飞机升压是吧？
对对对，它又没有氧气。
是的。
如果说待会儿不好转的话，还是难受的话，就建议去那个医院看一下，稍微治疗一下。
So today is probably the busiest day of this airport. 6 flights today, 4 to Lhasa and 2 to Xinjiang.
It's interesting there's a link between Tibet and Xinjiang, even though they're different religion and different kind of people, right? They are Tibetan, Buddhist. Xinjiang is like Uyghur and also Muslims. I'll be very interested about my flight.
Here's the plane. It's called Lucky Air. I really like the name. This livery makes me remember British Airways and perhaps Boeing. It's actually pretty cool. I like it.你们的那个制服是跟海南航空一样的，是一样的，嗯。So earlier I flew Airbus in here, so now let's see how the Boeing performance out of here. This plane looks like all economy. The first 3 rows must have extra legroom. I'm sitting in the first row, standard economy here. Looks like this is what we're gonna have in the flight: the water and the bread. They put it in the seat pocket. Interesting.
It was a very long taxi as the runway is 4,500 meters long. It took about 45 seconds to get airborne with just half of the runway used. As the weather became clearer, the scenery is getting better and better. I noticed Lucky Air has a lot of advertising, and they even utilized the chance to sell products during the flight.
那么驾驶的成功研制呢，不仅标志着我们中国在5代机上面有一个小时钟，可以提醒孩子有一个时间的观念啊。您可以看一下我们这款小兔子，非常的可爱啊。
买过了，很多其他的你要买的，49有一个眼镜，然后你如果再加10块钱的话，就是一大一小墨镜。而且我脸小，我带这个小朋友的也可以带。
About halfway, the plane made a left turn towards Xinjiang. The mountain terrain gave way to the hazy desert, as if there was a line in the middle. This flight really connected 2 of the outer provinces of Western China.
When you arrive at our destination, please just follow to adjust the temperature here. Thank you.
Welcome to Kashgar in Xinjiang. Well, the flight was actually a contrast. We flew from very high altitude, very beautiful scenery, snow-capped mountain, crystal clear lake, into somewhere like a desert, sandy sky, almost saw nothing, and plain ground. But most importantly, lower altitude. Now, I can't wait to explore the ancient city of Kashgar.
Kashgar is an important city on the Silk Road. The old town was so amazing, full of culture and plenty of delicious food. This trip has really ignited my interest in traveling to more far-flung places in China.
恭喜收看复原。
喂！要不要辣椒？再来点嘛！Killer，喂！来啊 ！Number one，耶！来！
The next morning, I flew out of Kashgar for Xi'an, which is the ancient capital of China. It was a routine flight on board China Eastern A319neo. The flight lasted 4 hours as we flew from the most western city of China. Upon landing in Xi'an, I was so amazed at the ultra-modern Terminal 5, which opened recently and became a destination of its own. On arrival, the baggage belt has carts laid out, and there's a camera to view how your baggage gets delivered. There's a capsule rest pod area and a bathroom monitor that shows air quality and occupancy. On the departure floor, there's even a palace-like museum. Let's cover more in detail in another vlog on China's aviation scenes. Well, that was the end of my 4-day flying trip in China's west, which is rarely seen outside of China and has lots of unique scenery and culture to offer. My trip started in Chengdu, then Lhasa and Nari in Tibet, Kashgar in Xinjiang, and ended in Xi'an. Hope you enjoy the journey together, and see you next time.